I used to dread this pose because I would constantly overcorrect myself. But once I learned half moon, it became my most empowering pose. Most people think it's about strength and flexibility, which are two benefits of the pose. But to actually get into the pose, it's about your focus, your breath, and proper alignment. Today I'm going to show you a simple trick that can retrain your muscle memory to balance with more control in just a few tries. Starting out on all fours in a few rounds of cat-cows. Inhaling as you arch your back and exhale as you round. Stretching out your spine and opening your awareness to sensation. Coming back to a neutral spine and sitting back to child's pose, hips to heels, releasing your forehead down to the mat. Checking in with yourself today. Making your way into your first downward facing dog. Extending those hips back. Lifting your right leg up into three-legged dog, opening up to the right and stepping forward into your forward fold. Releasing your head down. Taking a deep inhale as you raise your arms overhead, palms together, and exhale, swan dive. Inhale, opening your heart forward with a flat back, and exhale, stepping back with your right leg into a high plank, and then the left. Releasing your knees or sinking all the way down to the mat. Inhale, upward facing dog, and exhale, down dog. Releasing your right knee down to the mat, and coming into a side plank here, extending that left leg and opening up to the ceiling. You could stagger those feet and lift those hips up if that feels better for you. Coming back to a high plank and then shifting back into your down dog, lifting that left leg up into three-legged dog and opening up to the left, and then stepping forward into your fold, releasing your head. Taking a deep inhale as you raise your arms overhead, palms together. Exhale, swan dive all the way down. Releasing your head. Inhale, half forward bend, and exhale, stepping back with that left leg into a high plank, and then the right. Releasing your knees or sinking all the way down, elbows in. Inhale, low cobra or upward facing dog, and exhale, coming back into your down dog. Making your way forward, bringing that left knee down into a side plank, opening up to the ceiling. If you wanted to stagger your legs like you did before, lifting those hips, coming back to a high plank, and shifting back into your down dog. Lifting that right leg up into three-legged dog and stepping forward into your fold. Releasing your head. Taking a deep inhale as you raise your arms overhead, palms together, and exhale, swan dive. Inhale, half forward bend, and exhale, stepping back with that left leg into a low lunge, keeping that front knee aligned, raising those arms up overhead, interlacing your fingers, coming into a crescent, and then bringing those arms down into a prayer twist. You could keep that left knee down or extend it all the way back, tucking that belly button to the spine and really breathing into your twist. Release, coming into a high lunge, extending those arms up overhead. And then spinning that back heel down, aligning your back arch with your front heel and grounding down into your extended side angle. Throw without a block, extending that left arm up and reaching forward and then all the way down and around. We'll do that one more time, opening up those shoulders, using that leg strength as you come up into your warrior two. Finding that focal point straight ahead, releasing those shoulders down away from your ears. Cartwheeling those arms forward, placing your block to the side and stepping forward into your fold. Releasing your head, taking a deep inhale as you raise your arms overhead, palms together, and exhale, swan dive all the way down. Inhale, half forward bend, and exhale, stepping back with that right leg into a low lunge. Bringing those arms all the way up overhead as you inhale into a crescent lunge. and exhale as you make your way into a prayer twist. If you extended that back leg on the opposite side, doing so on this side. Looking over that left shoulder. And then transitioning into a high lunge, bringing those arms up overhead. Spinning that back heel down, aligning your back arch with your front heel, grounding down into extended side angle pose, lifting that right arm up towards the ceiling, and then forward and all the way around. Repeating that one more time. Coming up into Warrior Two. Cartwheeling those arms all the way forward and stepping back into a downward facing dog. Lifting that right leg up into three-legged dog and stepping forward into a lizard pose and making your way into a lizard twist, placing your left hand on top of the block and opening up to the right hand on the thigh, and lifting the bottom of your foot up, pointing those toes back behind you, and then coming back to center, wiggling your right foot in between your hands, extending that left leg, aligning your back arch with your front heel, and coming into Warrior Two. And finding that focal point straight ahead. And then extending through that front leg, reaching forward, reaching down to your shin or your block, and opening up with that left arm to the ceiling. Making sure to keep that chest and torso open rather than collapsing it forward. Releasing down. Placing your block to the side, bending into a Warrior Two pose. And then cartwheeling those arms and stepping back into your down dog. Lifting that left leg up into three-legged dog and stepping forward into a twisted lizard on the opposite side. Placing your block underneath your right hand and opening up to the left. Feeling a nice stretch in those hip flexors and the lower back. Wiggling that foot in between your hands and coming into a Warrior Two pose. Aligning your back arch with your front heel. Extending through that front leg, hinging forward and reaching down for your block, coming into triangle pose. Reaching your right arm up towards the ceiling and pressing that left big toe into the mat, grounding down to stabilize you in your pose. Bending into that front knee and coming into your Warrior Two, cartwheeling those arms forward and stepping to the top of your mat into a fold. Moving to the wall with your mat and two blocks, with the short end of your mat against the wall and your back facing the wall. Placing your hands underneath your shoulders on top of the blocks and stepping far enough away from the wall so you could extend that right leg back into the wall. You don't want to lift it too high. Starting with your hips squared to the mat and lengthening your spine from your tailbone to the crown of your head. And then you're going to rotate, opening up the hip, rotating that right foot, then bringing your right hand to your hip. And if you feel okay right here, extending that right arm up towards the ceiling. You could look down at your fingertips and toes or look over to the right. It's really grounding down into that left foot and the left hand as you open up to the ceiling. Finding your breath and staring straight ahead at a certain spot to maintain that balance. And then release, coming down into a forward fold. Bending those knees, you could spread those feet a little bit wider. Releasing your head, you could release your forearms down to the blocks. Ribcage to your thighs. And then coming up and switching sides. So you shouldn't have to move from here. Lifting that left leg up and extending back to the wall. Once you find your balance here, extending through that right leg, keeping the hands underneath your shoulders, opening up that left hip, bringing that left hand to your hip first, finding that balance and control there. And then if it feels okay to extend that left arm up towards the ceiling, looking down or looking over to the left, and always coming back to your breath. If you start to fall out of the pose, just pick yourself right back up and try it again. Releasing down, coming into a forward fold, bent knees, your feet are spread a little bit wider, resting your forearms on the blocks, allowing that rib cage to sink down into your thighs, and then placing your blocks to the side and making your way into your child's pose. Bring your knees out a little bit wider, sending your hips back to your heels, releasing your forehead down to the mat. Thank you for joining me. Namaste.